We're recording video now. Here we go. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, fever dreams.
Star Wars plans?
More people doth protest too much.
That Burger King thing is bad for you.
Why did you get fired again?
Fitness geek.
Jury duty and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Very good.
Very good. I'm Morgan the Mockingbird. I want to sing with flavor like Kellogg's Plump Juicy Raisins.
Raisins?
Kellogg's Raisin Bran, so pleasing.
I ripen 2 scoops of raisins for every box as part of this nutritious breakfast.
2 scoops of raisins in Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
2 scoops.
2 scoops. 2 scoops.
We said that.
We said that. 2 scoops. 2 scoops.
Looking for a TV?
Yes.
How about this one?
It's a little big.
Well, big is good.
Will they ever get off this damn island? This is The Morning Stream.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to The Morning Stream, TMS for short. It's Tuesday, October 6th, 2015. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Hibbett.
Hello.
Hibbett.
Yes, that's the Jewish pronunciation of my name.
You know what? I have a theory, Brian.
All right, tell me your theory, Scott.
I'm going to do a test on Google.com as to whether or not, you know how it can't find Brian Ibbett, right? It's always
Right.
Abbott or
Right.
Ebert or whatever the hell it does. Let's see if it does Hibbett, okay? So let's find out. I'm going to do it
I
right.
bet you it won't. I bet you it gives you Dr. Hibbert from The Simpsons.
Well, let's see what we get here. So here we go. Brian Hibbett. It did it. Brian, Hibbett.
Yeah,
If your name was Hibbett, this
It
whole
would find
problem
me.
would go away. Yep.
Nice.
Think of that. Think of that.
E-bot.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Sorry about no show yesterday. I still had a fever, but I'm better now and feeling a lot better. And even my voice sounds a lot better. It sounded kind of crappy yesterday, but sounding like just a little cold now is all.
So glad you're feeling better.
Thanks,
yeah,
man. It was dumb. It was a dumb few days.
The slow-moving Dragon Con virus cloud finally made its way over the mountains to Utah.
Yep, it's in Utah, heading now to California. Everyone brace yourselves.
Look out.
It does seem to have it seemed to follow the pattern, except maybe the fever, which I know a lot of other people haven't had. But for whatever reason, my I don't know. It's been a while. I haven't had that kind of thing in a very long time, so it kind of hit me like a truck. But I'm doing far better. Thank you for all your concerned tweets and emails, and even thanks to those who were like, "How come there's not a show on the feed today?" Thank you too for just being you.
Yeah, thanks for that concern.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Pardon feeding.
So, speaking of that, I just have to share with you that the other night when I was at its peak, it seemed to only have the fever part would be most prominent at night. And some of the dreams I had, Brian, you were in a lot of these.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, you had, do you remember Baby Huey, the cartoon?
Yeah, it was a big chicken with a diaper, right?
Was it a chicken or an actual baby? I think it may
Maybe
have been
it was
an
just
actual
a big baby with a diaper.
You were Baby
And a
Huey
bonnet.
in my dream, but you were Brian Ibbett still. But you had a giant diaper on and a little bow in your hair.
Really?
Yeah, and you were just being yourself. You were like, oh, I've got to prepare for Coverville later, and
Pull the pacifier in my mouth. Yeah, let's see.
My phone's acting up. I don't know what that's about. But you're still standing there naked, other than a big diaper with 2 giant cartoonish looking safety pins holding it
That's
up.
hilarious. See, all I can visualize for some reason, I'm visualizing Foghorn Leghorn with a bonnet and a diaper. So I think I'm getting my cartoon characters mixed up.
It's time to go back, revisit your childhood.
Yes, Baby Huey. I have to look.
Oh yeah,
at
we
it.
can. I guess we have the internet. We
Yeah,
can
it's a
totally
duck.
See that? Is it? Oh, it is a duck. You're right.
Baby Huey is a duck.
Oh yeah, that's not a person at all.
No.
Oh, I had it wrong then in my head. I saw I had a full-on baby, but you're totally right. Is there any? Do we have video of Baby Huey? Let's see here. Here's Baby Huey, Clown of the Farm, 1952. Okay, just a taste. This is. Oh, it's only one ear. Can you hear it?
I can hear it. Yeah.
Okay, it's the one ear we need then. Okay, baby.
Is Mother's precious itty-bitty baby enjoying his itty-bitty bath?
Say something, Huey. Say something, buddy. Because I think he was like, I think I want to go outside and play or something. Okay, here he goes. No. Oh, yeah. Here he goes. Okay, kisses his mother.
Goodbye, Ma.
Yeah.
I'm going to play circus.
Yeah, he's going to go play circus.
Evan, go play circus.
All right. Baby
All right,
Huey.
there we go.
That was a good time right then that we just had together.
I think people are thinking maybe you're confusing me with the baby from Roger Rabbit,
Oh.
the one who was smoking the cigar the whole time.
Oh, maybe.
I think you stepped on your cues there, Roger.
Yeah, except he wasn't a huge baby, though.
No, he wasn't. He was a regular-sized baby.
That was what made him funny, right? Because he sounded like a mobster, but he was only 2 feet tall or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but dream after dream is weird.
This just in, Baby Huey was a goose.
Oh, all right. No ducks.
Like a Mendoza goose, right?
What the hell are we? We don't know anything about Baby Huey. It turns out.
Apparently don't. No,
All right. Well, he went to play Psychus.
that should have been one of our games of how much do you recall about ...
I wonder how much social commentary there was in a Baby Huey cartoon about what do the normal kids do with the big misshapen kid. You know what I mean?
It was all about helicopter parenting.
It kind of was, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it really was.
That mother
It was
goose. She was constantly overprotecting him, I think.
I think it was just the fact that he was, he didn't realize how big he was, and he thought he was like all the other little goose babies,
Right.
goslings.
Goslings. There you go. I don't think they're called goose babies.
Goose
but yeah.
babies. The new book series from R.L. Stein, Goose Babies.
Fantastic. Love that idea. Anyway, there were a lot of other things I can't even speak of in these fever dreams, so I'm not even going to talk about them. Like
Really?
weird stuff. Yeah, stuff that just was like, left a mark on me. Like, oh my gosh, why is that in my brain at all? Like sometimes I'm often surprised about what I
can
can come up with.
anesthesiologist showed up.
Yep, and she said everything will be fine. Just count down if you want. And then the guy on Twitter lied. All right, so may have a little something. I did get a chance yesterday, sort of between things, to go do something kind of cool.
Okay.
And it may be of interest, especially to locals. So if you're in the Salt Lake area or in Utah generally, and you're interested in seeing Star Wars, possibly with a bunch of friends. So here's what we did. You remember the 2010 movie theater we used for, 2009 and 2008 and 2010.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one we used for Nerdtacular. It
Yeah,
was Star Trek and Spider-Man 3, Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, that's it. So it was, let me think. It was
It was a superhero with a number after it. That's all I know.
2008. Okay, yeah. So it's Batman, Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah, Dark Knight, right.
You
That
know
was the
what?
first one I made it to. I wasn't there for Spider-Man 3.
That's right. So Dark Knight, the movie Dark Knight for 2008, 2009 was Star Trek, the first one, or the reboot with George Kirk at the beginning. Then you got your what happened after 2009? Oh, that would have been 2010, and that was Iron Man 2.
Right.
That's
With
when
the
Bill,
Whiplash.
Yeah, that's when Bill Duran was a little round, tubby guy back then.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, not so much. He thinks he was, but he was just normal. Anyway,
Right.
then there was then that was it. We didn't do the movie thing anymore, but we used this theater, and now it turns out, and it used to be kind of a far away thing for me, but it was nice and central to people who would come into town.
I think we used it the next year for Brave, though.
Yeah, I
we?
think we did. Yeah, I think you're right.
The unofficial Nerdtacular movie.
Because it was so close to the other place, Noah's.
Right.
So we live near there now. I'm like 5 minutes from that theater, maybe a little less. And we went there yesterday by their invite. She invited us, this person there that we used to work with on these deals when we'd rent the whole theater and stuff. Mm-hmm. She was like having a whole bunch of people there that have done business conferences there, had private screenings for whatever reason, and we were part of that. And then they had it catered by like 12 different restaurant catering companies. So that you could see what each of their options were. So if you wanted
really trying to schmooze you, huh?
Oh, big time, yeah. And it was all really good. Like the barbecue, gosh dang it, dude. It was freaking amazing. And they had some other stuff there. Anyway, it was all these different kinds of things. Even Chick-fil-A had an offering there, which was mainly just like a giant tray full of nuggets. But anyway.
Right.
It was all fine.
A A tray full of nuggets for regular people, and then a separate tray for the gays.
Yeah, for the gays. They don't, and they keep them way separated. Don't want those gays anywhere near the nuggets.
Yes, I know people. They've long since gotten past that whole.
Yeah, it's still
kerfuffle,
it's still fun to bring things up.
Still fun to bring it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm fine with
little dig, a little poke on the side of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I like Chick-fil-A, but I didn't like their attitude then. Anyway,
No.
so we're chilling, we're eating, we're having a good time, and we're looking at the prices on some of the stuff. We're like, oh wow, some of this is expensive, and yet here they are giving it to us for free. They also gave us a free screening of a movie, but I had a show to do and some stuff to do back here, so I couldn't stay and I had to come back. But they were going to show us that intern movie with Robert De Niro, who's like a 72-year-old intern for what's her name?
For Anne Hathaway.
And Big Eyes Hathaway.
Right.
And so all this whining and dining, we're spending some time in that room that we did the prizes in that year in 2010. There's already a Christmas tree in there, and I don't know why. That kind of bugged me a little bit.
Oh, geez.
Anyway,
Okay.
whatever. So the point of all of this is there's two things afoot here. One, I'm trying to rent a theater for the Warcraft movie next June. That's a whole separate thing we'll talk about later date. Right now, it's too early to say.
Okay.
But I'm thinking about blocking out and this isn't finished or final, but like 50 reserved seats in a big theater for Star Wars on the 19th of December. Not a thing for a bunch of internationals to come to, or people around the country or anything like that. I am just mainly speaking to locals. Is that something you'd be interested in being a part of? I would do it in a way that it was. I mean, we may even, I don't know. There's some talk of doing a whole theater again, and I don't know if I want to do that. But we're trying to figure it out. It's expensive, but it's, for local fans to do just like a little throwdown for 50 or something seats, that could be pretty rad.
I will say that I would consider coming out for something like that.
Oh, would you now? So a jury said that too yesterday. So we maybe get a couple of Frog Pants stars out there. For such a thing. So it's in the works still. We're not even sure how much of this stuff is already pre-sold, because I guess Star Wars is like their big demanded private screening thing of the year.
Yeah, I can't. That's the funny thing. I can't imagine them saying, "Yeah, we'll give up on." Well, I guess they still make their money, right? If you rent out the theater, they just don't make as much.
Yeah. Well, they make. That's a really good question. I think they make as much, but they just don't. I don't know how they do it. It's an interesting question, because you'd think, well, wait a minute, what do they get out of this? And I'm not sure what they get out of it, because
a Friday night, premiere showing, they're not going to do this for, but maybe like the afternoon, the next week, or the later that weekend or something.
Yeah, they'll in fact like ours would
they
be
normally wouldn't fill the theater.
Sure, and ours will be like the morning after Friday. It'd be like Saturday morning or something, like a 10 a.m. screening, like we've done with them in the past.
Right, when you've got your Star Wars hangover. Come see it again.
Yeah, exactly.
With a bunch of friends.
That's exactly right. So anyway, I'll keep people abreast of what's happening. I don't know exactly yet, but it was fun, and I enjoyed being wined and dined. I don't usually get that. You know what, Brian? Let me tell you what it felt like. It felt like it felt almost like I got suckered into a timeshare meeting. Yeah. But they didn't do any of that stuff. They just said, "Come on in, enjoy yourself, have some food, chat with me if you want to make plans," but we're not going to give you. There's no forced presentation.
There was no big presentation. Okay, everybody, sit down. All right, now who here has an event coming up?
Yeah, none of that. And then you could just roll right into the films. And they had two movies you could choose from: the Everest movie and that intern thing. And just watch a free movie on us. And thanks a lot, guys. Hope we hear from you. That kind of thing. So it was pretty cool.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. And I only live 5 minutes away, so I could go home and sleep off the freaking barbecue I ate. But that was good. Maybe the barbecue broke the fever. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I wanted to also, before we call Daryl, just give a quick shout out to Stephen Ash. He's in our community, part of the Tadpole, and his sister passed away. And I just wanted to know we feel bad for him. That must not be an easy thing to deal with. And we're thinking about you, dude. We pay attention to what people say in the Tadpole. We're not. That is not a thing that happens separately from us. And so when one of our own is struggling with something, we just want you to know we're thinking about you, and we hope your family's doing okay. Don't know the exact circumstances around all that, but that's bad.
Yeah,
that made me sad.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Let's get into it with Daryl.
Little Daryl action.
Just a little Daryl. Not a lot of Daryl, just a tiny bit. Let's see how bad his internet is today. That's the goal.
Right.
Did it get worse while I was ill, or did it improve somehow? Who knows? The only way to know for sure is to play this theme right here. It is Stump a Trek Nerd, brought to you by
Captain Kirk, I'm a Romulan and you must speak to me immediately. I will destroy you, stupid human. Or you could just go to the redshirtdiaries.com and watch the newest episode, guest starring me, Brian Ibbett, as a smooth-sounding Romulan.
Ooh.
Smooth. New episodes every Monday. Beam on to theredshirtdiaries.com right now, or I will destroy you.
I want to hear just a peek of it. All right, so we're just gonna play it.
Have you not listened to it
I
yet?
haven't heard the new one yet.
right.
I was too crazy yesterday. But
Guess who's going to a space wedding? I'm going to be a...
where
third in.
About a third. All right, let's skip ahead.
It's because he's kind of racist.
Okay, here we go.
Enter. Enter.
A little
Would you
further.
just...
They have their little deal about...
Okay, let's skip ahead.
Sorry, how did it happen? Oh, hi.
Okay, I don't want to give anything.
No.
Oh, well, can you transfer me to the captain?
If I could use your phone.
That's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna save it for later. That'll be good fun.
They did a great job. They really did an amazing job editing all that together. They sat through 2 recording sessions with me because we had had some audio difficulties the first time.
Yeah.
And really, really happy with how it came out. It's funny because you do like 58 takes, right, for
Sure.
each line you give. Mm-hmm. And we'd have a good one, and so I'd have to say that was a good one because I was only recording my side of the conversation.
Oh.
So they would listen to me, my side of the audio, and then I would say that was the good one. Then they'd go back and use that one.
I love that out of context. That'd have been amazing. You do a line like, "Well, can you send me to the captain?" That was a good one.
Exactly.
That's pretty great.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, Daryl, are you there?
I am.
Oh, good. Daryl's here. He's the Trek nerd. By the way, I watched an episode of Star Trek yesterday while convalescing, and it was an episode. I did a Vine of it, but it was really weird. It was the one where Wesley fell asleep during his all-night nanobot test.
Oh, right. And the nanobots got all over the place and destroyed an experiment.
Yeah, and they became sentient, and then Picard's like, "Well, I can't destroy them.
And they're a new species. I can't just eliminate
I
them."
can't kill them." And then the guy from Scrubs was being a huge dick about it.
Right, yes.
So that was the episode, and what I liked about it was there's this, at the very beginning, Wesley's late for his duty on the bridge. He's supposed to be up there being, Ensign Crusher, right?
Right.
And when he walks in, it's just this shot of Riker pointing at Wesley as, like, putting his finger out with a snarky grin on his face and just pointing at Wesley the whole way Wesley walks to the front and sits down and never takes his finger off Wesley until he sits down. Very strange thing to see Riker do, and I'd never noticed it before.
Awesome.
It's fantastic, man. Let me tell you, that's a season 3 opener, I think, by the way. Season 3 forward, what a great show. Well, until some of that 7 stuff. But
did you see that YouTube video that was floating around yesterday called just plain Riker? It was like
the
Riker
one where he
in his own
stares,
show.
where he stares all the time. Is that the one?
Well, yeah, yes, pretty much, yeah.
It's not the one where the big giant alien creature gives birth to a Riker fish.
That's the one I'm talking about.
That is really great.
Yeah.
It was the best thing
That
ever.
was really funny. Just the little cat, and then the whole musical intro with do. It's like Magnum PI with all these different shots of Riker doing Riker things like eating and wiping his face and sitting down.
It was great, and the music was great because it was like this loungy kind of 70s kind of beat to it, and that was awesome. If you guys haven't seen that, I think it's called Riker Stares or something about him staring.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was just called Riker.
I can't remember.
But we tweeted all over. I mean, I think Brian Dunaway was the instigator. So look for his tweets yesterday.
Yeah, the Brian Dunaway.
The Brian Dunaway. The Brian Dunaway.
Exactly. Daryl. Also, the Shellyak, they are the dicks of the universe. Just want to point that out. They're terrible, man.
Was that due to Shellyak?
No, you know what? This is an episode after that one, now that I think about it. I'm mixing them up. But the Shellyak are the ones that are like, according to the Treaty of 2882, the freaking ship or the planet is ours. Get your people off or we'll vaporize them. That's the deal. Over and out. Like, they're just jerks. They don't want to negotiate. They think humans are beneath them in every way. That when they see pictures of them, they're surrounded by a bunch of crystals and they just look like some gelatinous blob men. They're just jerks, man. They're the biggest
what
jerks.
What a bunch of jerks those Shellyak are.
Serious jerks. They've never been nice. Anyway, Daryl, sorry. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. Let's talk to Daryl. He's the Trek nerd. And he comes on the show, answers hard trivia questions about Star Trek. Let's play. I guess we have a mashup from yesterday, so we got to play that first. I guess Iceworm makes us do that, so here it is.
Raz Al Hanout, which is not the guy who trained Batman. So good. Raz Al Hanout.
Okay, Raz
Not
Al
Raz Al
Hanout.
Ghul, but
Okay. Raz Al Hanout.
Raz Al Hanout.
Ah, you want Raz Al Hanout?
Hi there.
Hi.
You apparently don't like my recipe on Pinterest.
You said
and you think I should die in a fire.
Yeah,
Is that right?
A fire, is that correct? And that I'm a do I even lift dude or bro, you said?
I hear you don't like my YouTube video and you think I might be gay. Is this true? We're going to go to Tosh Station after that.
That's it. Now it's over. It really is over. This isn't me faking it. It's actually over.
Was that this show?
What? Yeah, it's this show. We're on.
I don't even
We're on
remember
now.
all that stuff.
This is all us. All right. So, what episode of The Next Generation, Daryl, does this clip come from? All right, here you go.
I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. Now, I can't do
Yes,
this.
you can.
I cannot sing in front of people.
You were terrific.
Ugh. No, he
No,
wasn't,
you weren't.
dude. He was bad.
Yeah, come on. Don't Paula Abdul him, Crusher.
She was always the positive one.
She was.
I thought you were great, James Hung. You were wonderful. Hung?
really like your spirit.
Was it Hung or Hong? It was Hung.
James
Hung. Like
Hung,
he was
yes.
well hung. Right. Got it.
Yes.
Daryl, there's your...
Not James Hung.
Yeah, wasn't it James?
Was it James?
James Hung. Hold on. That's gonna be
I have his album.
James Hung. Oh, no, I'm thinking of James Hong.
Yeah,
That guy.
exactly. It's
William Hung?
William Hung.
William Hung. She bangs. She bangs. There he is.
That's the one.
Age 32.
And Rocket Man.
He's got, he's got a life for himself now. Does he have a tweeter? Let's see.
He has to. Come on.
Well, if he does, here it is. William Hung on Twitter. He has 64 followers.
Oh, no. Really?
That can't be the real one then.
It says it's him. It says, go 49ers. Can't wait for American Idol. Oh, he didn't tweet since 2012.
Aw.
And he says, hello again, Twitter. I missed you. That was his last tweet, May 15th, 2012. I think maybe things didn't work
Probably
out.
didn't get any response and just said, screw it.
Unless there's another, let's see. Yeah, that's it. Who knows if it's real? I don't know. There's a W Hung. That's only 106 followers. Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I'm kind of sad.
WilliamHung.net is almost couldn't be more GeoCities.
Oh my gosh. There's an entertainment article. The headline is, He weds. Idol star William Hung gets married. He weds. That's terrible. All right, Daryl. Your options for that clip, by the way, were A, the nth degree, B, the game, C, disaster, D, a fistful of datas. Remember that one, the Western, where he played every character?
Yeah.
Yeah. He even did some of that. They'd like to do this, I noticed. This episode I was talking about with the nanobots, he communed with them, remember? The nanobots climbed into his arm or whatever, so he could speak what they had to say, and then he stood up and walked around and pretended like he was the voice of the nanobots. They do that a lot with Data.
Yes.
Yeah. To their chagrin, I believe. I don't think it worked out very well every time they did that. Anyway, those are your options. Nth degree, the game, disaster, fistful of datas. Gather around the fire, everyone. We are going to now do this.
Are you hungry? Aren't you hungry?
What's a foodie?
Well, I'm hungry, and a foodie would be a guy who would try out Tony Paco's pickles and peppers sweet mix. This is the one showing the pickle and the pepper meeting for the first time.
Well, or dating, because it's nighttime, right?
And they are naked.
They are naked.
Except for shoes.
Because on the other one, like it's daytime, they've got X's and O's, so they're kissing and hugging.
Yeah, and they're in bed. Oh, wait.
Well, the first one, they're in bed.
Right. So we've gone backwards here.
We have.
I think the first one was supposed to be the kissing and the hugging in the daytime. Then off come the pickle clothes.
Did they have clothes in the earlier one?
No, they're just wearing a sheet.
They're just wearing a sheet, man. Okay, so crack this up.
Is that a pickle, or are you just glad to see me?
Are you a pickle?
Are you a pickle? Or are you just glad to see me?
No, it's just a large wart.
Well, yeah, get this one open.
Yeah, this one's hard. Okay, I got it. Oh, you guys don't even know. You don't even know how excited I am for these.
Oh, I love the smell of this already.
What is the What's in there though? What's the weird looking
Pickles and peppers. I thought the label on the front would have given that away.
No, I got a weird end piece. That's what it is.
There's a little onion in there too. In mine.
Yeah, mine too. It's like those little what are those little circle onions called? What are those called?
Not giblet onions. Those are cocktail onions. Well,
cocktail onions. That's it.
Yeah, they put them in gimlets.
What's a gimlet?
It's a turkey neck, isn't it?
It's a cocktail. It's a drink.
Oh, a gimlet is?
Oh.
He's the one that says you have my axe, right? He's the one. Gimlet?
Right, yes.
Yeah.
He helped get rid of the ring. Right?
Sure. He was all pissed when they went in the cave.
By the way,
all his people were dead. Yeah.
One of the greatest things in The Martian.
What's that? You went and saw it, did you?
Went and saw it. The Lord of the Rings reference is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Especially how it's delivered and who chimes in on it.
What'd you think overall? Did you enjoy it?
Loved it. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it.
I did too. I thought it was freaking
And I'm wondering
great.
how Tina enjoyed it. She hasn't read the book, so I'm thinking it's, obviously you're not going to get any more enjoyment out of it reading the book, although I really, really like the book.
Yeah, I think that's a hard one. They had to compress a lot of things, but they still made it feel like they didn't. Like it still felt like they really explored all the stuff in the book and all the science and everything.
Sadly, the only thing that kind of disappointed me was Childish Gambino.
Oh.
It was Donald Glover. I like him a lot. I like the actor a lot.
Yeah, I like him too, but he's too... No, you know what's funny? On the spoiler cast me and Jury did yesterday, he mentioned this. He says Donald Glover's too cool. He's way too cool for that role. You needed a nerdy, nebbish guy. You can't have who you had.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
They needed a...
he's too good looking. He's too cool. He's too talented. He's too... all those things. I agree.
Like they needed a Leonard Hofstadter in that role, not a Childish Gambino.
Big time. But
no spoilers. We did good. We didn't give anything away.
No, we haven't given a thing away. Well, Donald Glover's in the movie, but you can find that out on IMDb. So there's your spoiler. That movie's fantastic. People should go see it. All right. You know what I liked about it? That was a first movie I've seen in a long time without any villain in it. There's no villains. The only villain is Mars.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's no bad guys.
I mean, is Jeff Daniels? He's not really a villain.
No, he's trying to do the right thing, but he's got
thing.
hard decisions to make based on all kinds of factors. Like I felt for him. He may be a little cold in how he has to do it, but I wouldn't call him a villain at all.
No, fate is the villain.
Fate is the villain, and harsh conditions where man was not meant to be is the villain.
Right.
Other than that, it's weird to see a movie where kind of everyone's trying to do the right thing. It's just kind of rare. There's no conflict that, it's a rare conflict. Anyway, let's try a pickle.
Sounds like it'd be refreshing to have something like that.
I completely agree, and it was. It very much was, and it was also interesting to see a movie that definitely had the feel of Ridley Scott's directing. It felt like a movie he made, but had more humor than you're used to from him.
Right.
Like the book does. The book definitely helps. Like all the source material really helped push all that forward, but to feel his influence plus the influence of the book and this cast was incredible. It's just great. Daryl, you really should see it. I think you'd love it just from a nerd,
for sure.
nerd perspective.
I should.
All right, I'm going to eat one of these pickles.
You'd understand a lot of that hydrazine talk.
Yeah, you would. Ugh. Those are powerful.
Yeah, I know hydrazine. That's a propellant thing, isn't it?
My kids call these grandparent pickles, by the way.
Oh, it smells weird.
Mm-mm.
It smells like a couch where several generations of poopy babies have grown up.
Wow.
What are we, aliens? Where we just have a poopy baby grow up on the couch? It's a strange idea. I like these.
Yeah, these are good.
I like the others a little better, but that's only because I'm a little more partial.
They're sweet. I mean, this could be a little less sweet. I'm trying to think of what I would do. Because I don't know if I'd put these on a burger, but I think I would...
You'd eat these by themselves, though, occasionally, like a little dainty
like
little thing.
Like a little side dish, right.
Mm-hmm. Like in a little mix of things.
I think I'd put it with sugar to tone down the sugar a little bit.
Oh, I love them, dude.
These are really sweet.
These pickles, this shipment of foodie things for the show may be my favorite that we've gotten. And I know I'm a little bit biased toward pickles. I love pickles, but I love this stuff, man. I love it.
These are good. These are good.
I'm not eating an onion, though. I don't like those. I won't eat
Vidalia onion, by the way, is the...
Oh, Vidalia. Okay. They look like skinned...
Cocktail onions are the same thing.
They're like skinned grapes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like mistreated grapes, but they don't taste like them.
I wasn't
By the
really
way,
a fan
I made-
of the. I wasn't a fan of the pickle. I'm gonna try this onion.
Yeah, try the onion. Put
That might cut the sweet a little bit.
Snort it,
This
Daryl.
last weekend, I made butternut squash soup.
Yeah? How'd that go?
Easily as good as what I get from Wolfgang Puck. This thing, holy crap. So easy to make, too.
What do you get from Wolfgang Puck? What does he give you?
He gives me butternut squash soup.
Is it a restaurant thing or something?
Yeah, whenever I'm in an airport that has a Wolfgang Puck,
Yeah.
I'll try and go there and get a butternut squash soup, and I'll have that before I get on the plane.
Right.
And it's just so good, especially in the fall. This is like the perfect time.
You all right, Daryl? You fall over there? Are you good?
That onion wasn't what I should have tried.
That was enough to make you toss your phone. That's fantastic. Well, whenever I have a butternut squash soup, this is the sound I make. That's it. Okay.
Kaleri in the chat room says it's not the Vidalia onion, even though Katrina in the chat room said it was a Vidalia onion. Listen, you guys discuss it amongst yourselves.
Yeah. They're a terrible source of information.
They really are. I just, these
Fever,
people.
no fever with flu. Flu has fever. Only flu has fever. I'm not coming to you guys next time I have a weird mole. I'm going to say, does this look infected to you? Yes, no, maybe, always, never.
Yeah, Vidalia onions are just sweet onions.
Well, there it is. So SeriousSeats.com. Oh, look at that photo. Ugh, that makes me kind of want to yak.
Pearl onion. Thank you, Kellery.
Pearl
yeah.
onions.
Kaleri.
Pearl onions.
Pearl onions.
She's my
there.
favorite performer in the Nashville Roundup.
Right, loved her in Hee Haw.
Oh, Pearl onions,
With
man.
her price tag dangling down from her stem. It was
Yeah,
great. It was really,
great.
really cool.
Yes, her stem. All right.
Stay away from the women with stems.
Yeah, I wouldn't go near them. All right, Daryl. Sorry, you got some history. Oh wait, damn it! I gotta play the thingy here. Here you go.
Hey.
Tell us about today in Star Trek history.
Well, it's odd that this one is today because of something I sent you yesterday. But on this day in 1966, the original series episode "The Enemy Within" aired, and that's where Kirk gets split in half and says, "I want to live."
Oh, that is the best track ever that you sent me. That, you know what? Here we go. We're gonna play it. Gotta play it. This is amazing. Oh shoot! Now I gotta find it. Gosh dang it! I thought I had it handy. Or I guess I could check my own tweet. Let me do that real fast. So I tweeted it right here, and it was Captain Kirk split because it was literally that, right? They split him in half. Here it is.
The good half and the evil half.
Right, the evil half had makeup on, which is weird. Eye makeup, but here it is.
Oh, really? Oh,
I want to go back.
I want to go back.
Please. I want to live.
Oh, yeah.
You will. Both of us. I want to live.
And then they hug.
I want to go.
And then there's penetration. Just kidding. All right.
Sure. Right, yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. Daryl, what do you think about this this question? Nth degree, the game, disaster, fist full of datas.
Well, if I can only watch Fistful of Datas up to a point, and then I have to just turn it off.
Yeah.
I don't like that episode at all. I should go back and watch it just to say I made it through.
It's not the one where he has a phone in his chest. That's a dream one, right?
No, that's a different one.
Okay.
Nth Degree is one of my very favorites, and I would remember if it was in that.
Yeah.
The game is the one with Wesley Crusher and the stupid goggle things and the cones. And,
The cones and the rods or whatever.
yeah, the frisbees go in the cones. And
Yeah. It was good
that
times.
thing.
Nth degree has that big holographic old man face, doesn't it?
What?
Yeah. Here, look. I'll send you a thing. Or you can't see this.
No.
I'll put it in the chat. There's a old man with like a diamond in the middle of his face.
No, it's not that. I don't think it is.
That's nth degree. You sure?
Really?
Yeah.
That's
It may have
the
been.
one
It may have been
Bark-
a brief thing or something. Was it a Barkley deal?
Yeah, where he gets super powerful.
Reggie Barkley and Dr. Crusher perform a scene from Cyrano de Bergerac in the theater room. Yeah. There's something with the big holographic old man head.
Maybe that guy does make an appearance at some point.
Anyway.
So I'm gonna choose disaster.
Well, let's see if it's a disaster by choosing disaster. It might be. Is it a disaster or is it correct?
Congratulations.
It's correct, it turns out.
You're a winner.
She tries to get Geordi to be in her production of the Pirates of Penzance. However, the Enterprise gets seriously damaged when the ship is hit by a quantum filament, which is wouldn't that be
Scott Bakula spinoff?
Wouldn't that?
That's where he changes light bulbs.
That's right. Oh boy.
Oh
Stark
boy.
in here.
Oh no, another light bulb. So there you go, Daryl. Good job, you did it. Monday or Tuesday's now behind us. We can put it in our rearview mirror. Daryl's the Trek Nerd on Twitter. He's also at This Week in Trek at thisweekintrek.com and the Grumpy Cast. And now he'll play a game with us called what?
Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and do these.
Okay.
And the one I don't use, I will throw into the bin of leftovers.
All right.
All right.
Star Trek or kid-related thing.
Okay.
Kid-related thing.
Star Trek or kid-related
or
thing.
Kid-related thing.
Here's your theme for that.
The ketchup. The ketchup.
All right, there you go. Don't ask me.
What am I doing playing the songs we've got for today's show? Why aren't we playing that?
I have a worse one from her. Listen.
Guacamole. Guacamole.
It's a guacamole
She
song.
really is a one-note samba, though, man.
Yeah.
No variety in her delivery.
No, you couldn't have two condiments more different than ketchup or guacamole, yet they have the same exact song.
Same melody, right?
Yeah, beautiful.
Salt
and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Roast potatoes. Roast potatoes. Anyway, sorry. All right, Daryl, give it.
Okay. Which one should we do? I'm going to let you choose. 1 through 4. Which one?
I'm going to say 1 through 4. I don't know. How's 3, Brian?
Sounds great.
Okay.
That's the number I was thinking exactly.
Well, Brian went
And
all
that's
crusty.
the one I was
don't know
on
why.
anyway, so I'll just do that one.
Oh, very good.
Tacumbra.
Tacumbra.
Tacumbra. Is it a Star Trek thing or kid-related thing?
Tacumbra.
Tacumbra.
It's got to be kid related because it's too weird.
Yeah,
And-
where's the city of Tecumseh? Is that in California?
I don't know.
Tecumseh?
Tecumseh, is that a thing?
Something like that? I think so.
I don't know.
Sure, let's say kid-related.
All right, we'll say kid related. And Daryl, did Brian get all crusty to you too?
Yeah, he
Okay,
sounds
because you
crusty.
sound the same, but Brian got crusty. I don't know what happened.
Oh, sorry.
You went way crusty.
Is it my still, or is it better now?
You are. You're like in a faraway land of like I'm here on the border of Syria and Jordan. We're trying to. It's like that.
Apparently, I'm in Tecumseh.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, so we say 3. Or what was 3? No, wait.
we say kid-related.
Sorry, kid related. Right.
Okay. A Tacumbra is an all-Vulcan ship on DS9.
Oh, damn it. See, you knew that we were going to go that way because it seemed too complicated for a kid. It would have to be Star Trek, therefore it was a kid. But you knew that, didn't you?
No.
Oh. All right, Daryl, here's your news.
Television highlights of the news of yesteryear.
It is the news brought to you by...
Be sure to tune into the Horror Happens radio show on HGRNJ.com on October 6th at 5:50 Central Time. That's not complicated.
Nope.
Host JK will interview Count Drahoon and present his never-before-heard Feature of Fright episode, Zombie Lives Matter. Following the broadcast, ZLM will be available on camcordertv.com. Camcorder TV. Humble beginnings, big ideas. Hashtag ZLM, hashtag Drahoon podcast.
Drahoon. You sound better now. You came
Oh,
back.
good. Okay, it fixed itself.
It was slow, though. It was like this weird rising sun.
Gradual. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay, I got 2 stories here that I must share.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of how much of the rest of the stuff we get to today. Because you know I love it when a story pops up with somebody who is super loud on a subject and wants to condemn everyone for living that way, and then they end up doing the very thing they're talking about. Here's 2 of those for you, Brian.
Okay. 2 of them even.
Yep.
Jeez. Okay.
Tea Party family values poll resigns after sending adulterous video to entire address book.
Whoops. Did I hit reply all?
Darn it. After sending the sex video to his entire contact list by mistake, Republican Indiana Representative Judd McMillan sent out a mass text. I didn't get your mass text.
I'm in your contacts.
Oh, I mean, I did get your mass text.
I hung out with her, Tay Allen, at the jury wedding.
Is she nice? I heard she's nice.
She's lovely. Yeah. She's really, really nice, and she is exactly what she appears to be in all those videos.
There's a real I don't know. There's a real I am who I am quality to her. You know.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sure.
Anyway, he says that his phone was stolen in Canada and had just been returned. He asked recipients to please disregard any messages you received recently. I'm truly sorry for any offensive you may have received. He subsequently resigned his seat, saying he wanted to spend time with his family. He conspicuously did not mention the video, but did excoriate. What's that word? Excoriate his haters, saying that their criticism made society, quote, a sad place, unquote. Macmillan campaigned a notorious bill that gave business owners the right to discriminate against gay people if they thought Jesus wanted them to. He also opposed same-sex marriages. So, yeah, I mean, regardless how you feel on those subjects, the guys, it just seems like the guys who are the loudest are always the ones with the
Can I say, though, how much I love the fact that his first thought was, oh, my phone got stolen in Canada.
Yeah.
By my girlfriend who lives in Canada.
Yeah. You got to hurry up and think of these things because, you know, there's no time to waste, but sometimes that's not good. Here's another one. This is a good one. This one's great. Ku Klux Klan leader. He's a Klan leader, man.
Okay. All right. He's
busted.
The Grand Wizard?
Well, he's one of those kind of guys.
Okay.
He is busted now because he got caught having the sex with a black male prostitute.
Not a prostitute who's trying to blackmail him, but a black male.
Correct. Well, thank you for clearing that up.
Prostitute.
Yeah, M-A-L-E prostitute. Right. In what can only be called ironic justice, Ku Klux Klan leader Fraser Glenn Miller. Isn't there a Glenn Miller in the music?
Yeah, he's a big band.
Oh, that's right, the Glenn Miller band.
He did the song "In the Mood."
Yeah, I love that song. So is this guy probably does too, if you know what I mean. Strange to be in the mood when you hear that. But anyway, the same man who killed 3 people at a Jewish community center a few weeks ago was busted while having... Wait, is this the same guy? Oh, all right. Was busted having... I didn't read that part before.
No, me neither.
Having sex with a black male prostitute in the backseat of a car.
Bury the lead.
Yeah, big time. Jeez. Anyway, Miller, who told an investigator he had lured the prostitute for the purpose of beating him up, was caught with his pants down engaging in acts that were too graphic to be described by authorities. Miller is reported to have lengthy and complex history with the law dating back to 1980. His involvement with the White Nationalist Party and the Ku Klux Klan landed him in plenty of trouble with the FBI. Eventually, cut a deal with Miller to in exchange for his ratting out his fellow party members. He then entered a witness protection program after participating with law enforcement to catch other white nationals. His deal included a greatly reduced prison sentence of just 5 years and the protection of a brand new identity, which was just furnished to him by the FBI. However, he's just a crazy person. He's a crazy person. Now, obviously, I want to make one thing clear because I did get some emails about this. And today's just happened to be 2 guys that you might throw. Well, I'm not gonna say the Ku Klux Klan guy is on the conservative side. He is he's extreme to the extreme. I get it.
Right. Yes, that is an extreme.
Yeah. The other guy, the Tea Party guy, I'm not trying to single him out. It's just that we don't have any good Anthony Weiner stories right now. He's the same kind of guy, but that happened a long time ago. But he's a good example too. All right. He was a Democrat. I get it.
Yep.
All right. Now that we're through with that nastiness, geez, that guy.
Yeah.
People who ate at Burger King and got the Black Whopper. This is that Halloween Whopper. Did you try it, by the way?
I will Wednesday now that I've read this article.
Okay. It's turning everyone's poop green. That's the deal. In honor of Halloween, and someone told me this on some show I was on. Who was it that said this? Somebody... I don't remember. It was my live stream for NVIDIA. I did that completely stoned on cold medicine.
Really?
Yeah.
The NVIDIA deal?
Yeah, it was a mess. That was a total mess that night.
I don't even remember doing it.
I remember vaguely I played a video game or something. Anyway, in honor of Halloween, Burger King has finally brought its Black Bund Whopper to the States, calling it the Halloween Whopper. Somewhat surprisingly, Burger King patrons have said their burger actually looks pretty close to the ads for it. But more surprisingly... Oh, go
this
ahead.
was something that was in Japan, like a week, like they stopped selling it a week before we got there, or started selling it a week after we left, or something. We missed the Japanese Black Whopper, which was squid ink, and I wonder if that's what they're using in this one too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. And at the time, that wasn't supposed to be themed for Halloween.
No,
I
it's
think
just Japanese people being weird.
I think over here they thought, well, that's the only way we can sell this is if we do it for Halloween.
Right.
He says quite a lot of people experience green poop after eating the burgers. Apparently quite green. There's even a green poop hashtag. Why, I really don't want to look that up on Twitter, to be honest. Do you? I don't.
No, I do not.
Yeah, people have phones on or cameras on their phones. I'm not interested in that. Sample tweet. Dear Burger King, yesterday I ate a Halloween Whopper and now the color of my poop is blue-green. Where my brown poo go?
Is this going to be forever?
It's just food coloring, people. That's all it is.
Yeah, and it's not even that. I wonder what it is. Well, I've actually had something, I can't remember what it was. It was like Thai food, or it was something that we ate that was not promoted as changing the color of your poop, that did turn my poop green. I can't remember what it was.
Wow. That is some TMI right there. Oh, look at that
apparently,
black thing.
Yeah, the one in Japan used squid ink and bamboo charcoal to turn black. This one uses well, it doesn't say. It just says has A1 steak sauce baked into its bun, giving it both a black hue and a black pepper flavor.
No, I don't buy it. That can't all be that.
A1 sauce does not turn bread black.
I don't know why. I think that's hooch.
The bun was black. It's not supposed to be black.
It's not supposed to be black. Ooh, there's some photos here. Not of people's poo, but of their of the burger. It's kind of gnarly looking. I don't think I want that. Are you going to do it? I want you to do it.
I'm totally going to do it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ugh.
It's almost too bad that it's not, it's I can't go through the drive-through during this song and say, is it too early to get a Whopper? Too early to get a Black Whopper?
Can I get a Black Whopper?
That's what that Ku Klux Klan leader got busted for having.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be my hero if you recorded that. That'd be amazing.
Should I do that?
By the way, if you start
too early to get a Black Whopper.
If you start Googling the words "why is my," so why is my the top autofills are why is my internet slow? Why is my poop green? Why is my computer so slow? Why is my Wi-Fi so slow?
It's all related.
Yep. It's all connected, baby. Oh, you went crusty again. Why is that?
Oh, man.
It sounds like something started up, like you got like a big download starting or something.
I'm looking at my network monitor and I'm looking at my activity monitor. They're both low.
Oh, that's weird. Well, it's fine. It's still good. You're not getting lag. The funny thing is it's not a time lag thing. It's just a
audio quality thing.
And now you're back.
In Skype or something.
Now you're back. Yeah, you just upgraded Skype, right? Maybe there's.
I did just upgrade Skype.
Could be that.
That was the only way to fix it from the El Capitan.
Oh, wee poo poo.
Yeah.
All right, I'm saving this story for tomorrow. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to, I think the Bill will be here. I haven't heard anything different. And then Jury. Right. After that, that'll be good.
Sure.
But before all that, Brian has music, and we're going to hear it now. So what'd you bring me, man? What's going on?
I do. Well, we love Jeff Bronco up in Canada.
Yeah.
Right?
He's always calling us out for stupid stuff we say. I love it.
He is, yeah. And well-deserved. And he emailed me and said, or sent, posted a request in, by the way, emails, I'm ignoring them now.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, if you send an email to tmsrequest@coverville.com, it's probably going to get bounced back because I'm not checking two places anymore.
Yeah, we're using the form, damn it. It's the form now.
The form. And the form is tinyurl.com/TMS requests.
Yeah. And we promise to mention that more often so that those who are unawares will.
That's right. Yeah. And we even make it so easy. We also give you tiny.c slack, tiny.cc/TMS requests.
Hey, I have a sound of the Slee stack. You want to hear the Slee stack from Lost or Law and Land of Lost?
I know what's coming.
Okay, here it is. There's one of them.
Amazing. Oh, man. I could see Chaco running through the forest when he heard that noise.
Chaco.
Chaka.
I know, that little piece of shit monkey man thing. I hate that thing. Anyway, all right. Sorry.
So Bronco wrote in, I left home on August 25th on the longest motorcycle trip I've ever done. While it's been great, I've had some issues along the way. Most of the trip will be in the USA. And while I love it down here and all my American friends, it's still not home. The Tragically Hip wrote a song after their first U.S. tour, and it's all about the feeling of relief on seeing that sign that says, Last American Exit Before Canadian Border. I'll be crossing that border the first week of October on my way home, and I'll be listening to it on my iPod if I can't stream the show. I don't even know if there is a cover of it, but I'd like to request the Tragically Hip Last American Exit.
Oh, nice.
And no, there's not a cover of it, but, you know, I like to break the rule every once in a while. So here is the Tragically Hip from the international version of their self-titled album from 1989 with a song called Last American Exit.
Look, it's a green-bellied sapsucker group.
That's Dig'em!
Smack, smack, sugar smacks. Give me a smack, and I'll smack you back. Fun to eat those smacks of wheat. Kellogg Sugar Smacks.
Kellogg Sugar Smacks, a part of this complete breakfast. Hey, what's wrong with these binoculars?
All frogged up.
Give me a smack, and I'll smack you back. Kellogg Sugar Smacks.
You'll dig 'em.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, well, I don't necessarily.
The morning stream. Better than dog butt flung poo.
All right, we're back. You know, Bronco's he's a real man.
He is a real man.
Yeah. I don't know anyone quite like him in terms of like just this open road motorcycle.
Right, exactly. I bet you he does that thing where when you pass another guy on a motorcycle going the opposite way, you stick your hand out kind of low and do the wave.
Yeah, I wonder.
I bet he does that.
Yeah, and I bet it's appreciated by those he drives past.
I'll bet it is. Yes.
By
the way, Microsoft just came out with the Surface Pro 4.
Hey, I heard about this. How's that look?
Looks huge. Looks bigger, like they're iPad Proing it.
That makes sense.
Or maybe iPad was Microsoft surfacing it.
Has 1,024 touch levels to the new pen. That's good.
Ooh,
I'm interested in these things from a Photoshop standpoint.
Sure. Well, now you get your pick of the tablets that can handle your Wacom sensitivity situation.
So there is a Surface Book as well. Surface Pro cover. Okay, it's got a new keyboard. Yeah, I don't dislike the Surface Pros. I think they're pretty cool.
No, not at all. Just the fact that it runs the actual, not a tablet version of the operating system, but
full-blown Windows.
Basically the full-on Windows.
You could play. I have a friend who on his Surface 3 plays Heroes of the Storm. With a
the Surface Book. That's cool too.
Yeah, that's cool. That's nice.
Huh, neat.
I need to get somebody with some hands-on art time with the pen, and so I can make a decision about what I'm going to do next month, because it's either that or the iPad Pro,
right,
for art stuff. Anyway, welcome back. We're here. We're doing it. We're making it happen. And today on the show, we have Bill Duran, who I believe is on his way. Let's add him to this call. Billy Boy Duran. Billy Boy, get in here, you slacker ass. Let's see if we can find a little theme music for him while we're at it. Here we go. I found one. Bill. Yeah, Bill.
Yes. I need to find a way to make that my alarm clock noise.
Oh, that'll wake you up for sure.
Yeah, yes. wakes me up. I use it every morning. You just didn't know it. It's Bill Duran, everybody. He is a purveyor of all wonderful things over at Punish Props, but also our fitness geek. Comes on the show and talks about ways to stay fit and trim in a nerd's world. And what's going on today, man? I feel like I'm having a lot of cosplay anticipation for BlizzCon, because I've seen some stuff lately from a few Blizzard cosplayers that are kind of blowing my mind. There is
there some crazy people there who do some really amazing stuff, and I'm excited too to see it.
Yeah,
totally.
There's one of Johanna from the Diablo universe floating around that I just saw yesterday on Twitter. I don't know who that is, but my gosh, it's incredible. So cool. Very excited. Are you doing anything special? What's your plan? What are you doing?
I have plans, but we're so stupid busy this month. I don't know if I'm going to get to them. We'll see.
You're probably a little buried, is my thinking.
Yes,
but you're. It's not. You don't have another con till that, right? You're done for a bit.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds like a busy Bill. Busy Bill over there.
Busy Bill. It's my favorite little reader book.
Now here's the problem. When Bill gets busy, it's tempting to just pick up a black Whopper instead of a healthy salad or something, or maybe.
Nobody's tempted.
Not tempting. No.
Come on, you want to just try it once, right? Just once. No.
Oh goodness, no.
All right, I don't either. Now that I think about it.
I did have a normal colored Whopper in an airport in Taipei.
How'd that go?
It was just like a normal Whopper.
But it was probably great though, because all of your alternatives are like squid heads and things, right?
I didn't even shop around.
Yeah.
I was like, there, Burger King.
I recognize that. I can eat that food. Well, that's fantastic. What's up today? What's going on? What do you got for us?
A couple of things. The one quick thing, health and safety sort of thing too.
Ooh, OSHA, an OSHA moment. I like it.
Yeah. Speaking of long travel, if you're on a 12-hour flight, as I was a couple of weeks ago, don't be a hero and be like, I don't need to get up. Do not sit in your seat for 12 straight hours.
Oh, that's not good for your legs. For
Yeah.
is it an embolism or something?
Potential
Isn't that-
embolisms, blood
That
clots.
was stupid. I don't know what I was thinking. My legs are fine, but my back got super jacked up.
Yeah.
Just just the right side. Like I have an area of my back that bugs me anyway.
Yeah.
That area, for the last 2 weeks, has been painful. It sucks.
And that stuff does not get easier the older you get.
No.
It'll get worse, is my thinking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow.
all I had to do was stand up. I had an exit row seat. I could have just stood up.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. It's not like you even have to inconvenience anybody.
No. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
Just got to keep an eye out for the drink cart and make your move.
Yeah.
Stand up every once in a while. Top tip.
Yeah, I had a
Gotcha.
guy I used to work with. We used to go to China. When I went to China, he was my traveling companion, and he would refuse to do anything. He'd just kind of sit there the whole time. And he did coach this one trip, and other times we did business class, which is easy to stretch out and do other stuff. But he would never get up. And when we came home the next time, he was having all this weird pain in his leg. Went into the doctor, and there was this giant clot.
Yep.
That was like jammed up in his leg that any minute could just go right up to his brain. And they ended up doing all kinds of thinners. He had to keep his feet up for like 3 weeks. We didn't have him at work, and it was like a complete nightmare. So, yes, get up and move around, man. Get up and move about the cabin, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to recommend that. That's a good idea.
It's good. All right, next thing.
Yeah, number 2. Give us a big 2.
Number 2. Oh, I got a big number 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Haven't had my...
Did you have a Black Whopper?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, if other folks out there like me enjoy the weight training, lifting weights and everything, and you do it usually 3 times a week is a good amount to be doing that. Give yourself a day in between to recover, let your muscles recover. And also, if you're really, really sore, it's nice to have a day off in between working out. However, you could be tempted to turn those days into cheat days and slide back into bad habits, but you must resist.
Yeah.
So what do you do on your days off in between weight training? Well, I have a list. Everyone loves lists.
Okay.
I have a list for you.
Okay.
First of all, you ought to plan your days off. Whatever the day off activity is going to be, make sure you plan it so that you don't just say, I ain't doing anything, as sometimes happens.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't make a plan, you may in your head think you've got the options, but if you don't make a plan, you're probably not going to do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, a good example. Yesterday, I didn't do any weight training. I was planning on doing it, or I was hoping I would do it. But Brittany and I got to work in the shop right away in the morning. We had a whole bunch of molds to make, and then it was like, oh my god, it's 11 p.m. I didn't do any weight training today because I just got to work and I forgot about it. And make it part of your plan, whatever that activity is, so that you actually do it.
Yeah.
But some things you could do, and a lot of this stuff, there's an article on nerdfitness.com, which I've been reading a lot lately. Folks should definitely go check them out.
Yeah, you've mentioned them before, right? I
article
think
over
this
there.
has come up before on the Nerd Fitness site. Nerdfitness.com, right?
Yeah.
All right.
They're really great.
Oh, yeah, right.
One of the things they recommend is doing what they call a mobility warm-up. They have a whole article about that. It's just called mobility warm-up. Things like a lot of body weight stuff. So in the morning on your day off, just do like 10 minutes of body weight exercises. Some jump ropes, some jumping jacks, some body weight squats, lunges, hip rotations, a couple push-ups. Yeah. It's not a lot, but it's a good like 10-minute get your body going sort of thing in the morning.
Yeah. Good time to do it too, you know?
Yeah, right away, right when you get up.
Yep.
No point in waiting. Then some other stuff you can do. Sports. How about that? Sports.
I like sports.
You can go out and do a sport. You go shoot some b-ball.
We're not talking esports here, folks.
No.
Yeah. No, League of Legends and Counter-Strike Go doesn't count for exercise.
What about bowling? Does bowling count as a sport?
Yes.
Good.
It counts enough. That's a fun physical
you're getting
activity.
Exercise. You're picking up a ball and hucking it down the lane.
Oh yeah. They're biking, hiking, and walking. Any other sort of thing that's a fun thing to do, something you can do socially. That just gets you off your butt. You don't need to do any heavy lifting. You want to be recovering still, but you want to be active.
Sure. Makes sense to me.
Yep.
Lovely.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
A lot of other people like to go with just their off days from weightlifting is their cardio day. So high interval, what is it? Interval training, high impact interval training, something like that. Or walking or running or jogging or any of that sort of stuff.
Sure.
Rock climbing, that's another good one to do on your day off.
Yeah. Where do you, so if you can, if a rock wall, well, yeah, I guess rock walls are good alternatives if you don't have actual rocks to climb on, right? That's where people go. Is that what they do today when they want to rock climb? They go to like one of those fake ones. It looks like a giant wall covered in giant pieces of chewed gum.
Yeah, and I would recommend, I had to do an episode of this on rock climbing because I like doing that. But I would recommend doing the gyms, the rock climbing gyms, because they have safety equipment and people to help you and padded floors.
So don't make your first rock climbing experience just going up to a sheer cliff face and climbing up.
Yeah, boulders are fun if you live in an area that has those. So
we have boulders.
Yeah, my brother in where he lives in Phoenix, they have these giant boulders. Yeah, bouldering, I guess they just call it that, right?
Yep.
And you just start down one side of that thing and curl your way all up around it and down the other side, and they'll come off that thing the sweatiest mess you've ever seen. So,
yeah.
Pretty good.
I have a buddy who does a lot of rock climbing, and he does he'll drive like 3 hours to a rock face with like his own ropes and crap.
Yeah.
And like climb up the side of it.
Well, my wife just sent me a photo of her on a bike at the gym and said to say hi to Bill. So
that's cool.
Yeah. She knew when you'd be on, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another really good
Yeah.
Another great thing is yoga. Get yourself into doing some yoga. Another good thing to do in the morning, because it's not, it's not high impact. It's going to help you flex on your flexibility, and it's a pretty good little workout that will also help you recover from your weight training. There you go.
All right, sounds good to me.
However, today is not my day off. Today I will be lifting weights like a bro.
You sound like a guy who is using this as an opportunity to reinforce your decision, and that's good.
It really is.
Yeah, because you've got a back that's hurting. The world wants you to eat a burger you don't want. Like, it's just it's trouble all around, and Bill's making a commitment, and here he is reaffirming his commitment to us, and I think that's fantastic.
That is correct.
Yeah, and he's always got a
Yeah, mostly it's because I forgot. I was like dead set. I gotta do my weight training today, and then by the end of the day, I hadn't done it. I was like, damn it, I suck.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you, and also behind you 100%. So best of luck. Do not let destiny pull you away.
Okay.
That game got real good real quick with that.
Yes,
expansion.
it did. I've been playing a lot.
Damn it. Damn thing. Gosh dang it. I was content going, it's not for me. No, turns out it is now. Anyway, it's Bill Duran, everybody. Punishprops.com. Anything in particular you'd like to point eyeballs to?
Sure. Brittany and I are working on a helmet from the show Bleach that I didn't watch, but I understand a lot of people enjoy that show. So we're working on that today and tomorrow, I think. It'll be done in the next couple of days. Working on videos, working on all sorts of really fun helmet making content for your faces.
Helmet making content. Sounds good to me. It's Bill Duran, everybody. Chinbeard on Twitter.
Yay.
We'll talk to you soon.
Toodaloo.
Bye now.
Bill.
All right, Bill. You know, he was coming to Salt Lake. I should have asked him this while he was on. He was going to come to Salt Lake Comic-Con and did not, and I think it's because he's just so busy.
Yeah.
I think
he's been a con, not to borrow a line from Alan Tudyk, but he's been con man this summer.
He's a real con man, that's for sure. Don't trust him. Just kidding. Don't trust him. He's cool.
Don't trust a con man.
We like him. All right. Jury Furry Robert Young is coming on now.
Okay.
You know Jury Furry?
Yes. Well, less furry after the wedding.
Yeah.
Right? Little trimming.
I noticed that. It's interesting. I saw him last night on we did a podcast.
The spoiler cast.
Yeah, the spoiler cast, and I noticed that.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
On the phone with us now is the recently shorn, or more shorn than he used to be, Justin Robert Young. Hello, Justin.
Where the hell's that coming from?
I don't know. Your beard's a little less than it used to be. It's not quite.
It was trimmed. It was a little closer cut, cleaned up. a little bit.
I mean,
last
not
time.
since the wedding.
Well, no, you're going to go again. I mean, I think you're going to go full hobo again. That's fine.
We're on the uptick, baby.
We are, okay. Well, we called you furry jury, and I said, well, a little less furry since the wedding.
Just a tiny bit.
Returning to furry DEFCON level orange.
Yeah, you're only a few days away from finding like an errant olive or grape in there or something, right?
Well, next thing you know, you start hanging around with all those olives and grape folk, and you never know what you're going to find in there, like a loose key or a piece of gum.
The olive and grape folk.
Yeah. All right, here, you guys keep talking and set up whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to grab my bagel that I put into the toaster.
That's not a problem. So he can hear us because he has these
What
monitor
topic
speakers.
should we force him to talk about today?
Here's what I think we should talk about, because we already like part of what this would normally be would be us saying, oh yeah, The Martian, and everyone liked it and whatever, but we just did this spoiler cast last night, and people should go check it out at frogpants.com. Just look for the spoiler cast or spoiler show podcast, and you can get it. The last thing we did was the Age of Ultron business, so it's been a while. Missed a lot of summer movies, so we thought it was time to get back to it. So we talked all about The Martian yesterday. I thought it was really great. People should really enjoy that. However, for Jury, I don't know. Jury, what is burning a hole in your chode right now? What's happening?
Oh, geez, my chode? Right now I'm rocking this salt bagel with hummus.
Oh, that sounds all right.
So that's a nice little thing. You want to know what, man? I was relying on you because I've done 19 podcasts in the last 18 hours.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think any opinion that I have has either been out there, although I was thinking about something.
I have a political thing, but it's so dour though.
No, set it up because I'm going to do the politics podcast right after the morning stream.
Okay, I'll throw this out. It's a sad one though, because it's sort of in the wake of this shooting in Oregon, right?
Yeah.
And I made a comment on Facebook that basically it boiled down to, I made a comment that said, if we didn't have the collective will to do anything affirmatively to change something about either gun laws or mental illness or something, then if we didn't have the collective will to do that when a classroom of children were slaughtered, I don't know why we think we have it now. And that started a stream of conversation. Various things like, I agree, and I don't know why we, if we couldn't then, why can't we now? Or blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, it's, history's a rising road. We will work this out. It's a cultural thing, but we've got to figure it out. Political this and that. But then there's a big bunch of people who dig up that old, guns don't kill people, people kill people thing, and all this back and forth about gun control. And my problem with it is I feel like nobody can actually have a conversation about it because it is so politicized. It is so politicized, and it really frustrates me because I don't have any problem with hunters and people who use gun for sport, and I don't have any problem with any of that stuff, and none of that seems inherently evil or a gateway drug to something worse or whatever. But I also think it's way too easy for that guy in Oregon to own 12 guns legally. Like, that's just ridiculous to me that he's somehow able to do that, and that now we still think that that's fine, and that it was not a problem. It's only a him problem, and there's no other problem. And then you look at the numbers, and they're freaking disgusting. And I don't know, the whole thing just has zero. I don't know what the end of that thing is. So I guess the question is, and if we can make a topic out of it,
yeah,
why is it that issue has to be either you're never going to take my guns, it's a constitutional right, or guns are the worst thing ever and everyone needs to get rid of them? Why does it seem like nobody talks compromise? There's zero compromise.
Yeah, right. Zero guns or all the guns.
Yeah, all the guns or zero guns.
You raise a really, really, really good point. And I would just like to take this time to avoid it and talk about the iPhone 6 Plus, which I'm really enjoying.
Oh yeah, listen, wait. I don't want to remember your watch thing when everyone could get the watch and you couldn't.
Yeah,
I'd like to just share. I would like to have my version of consternation about how nobody in the Valley. We have 3 official Apple stores here, and then a bunch of people who sell them, also AT&T stores, Best Buy, and everything else. Nobody has 6S Pluses anywhere of any kind. I would take a rose gold one if I could find it.
Wow.
You'd go Bros Gold?
I would go Bros Gold.
Rose Gold.
Yeah. which I hate because I know that's the thing people are saying because that's the only way some guy's been able to get it. I would take a rose gold one and put a big ass case on there so nobody could see it. But I would do it if I could find them. There's just no place. And we made a deal with Nick about grades and how he's doing generally as a 15-year-old kid and all this stuff, that if he was doing well, we would do the installment plan for a 6S normal. And I would get that and my plus the same day. And no pluses. So now my 15-year-old son has the best phone in the house.
In your face, old man.
I hate it. I don't like it. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, back to guns.
Back to guns and the trouble.
I think
such a weird dichotomy of these two topics.
Unpacking, you're drawing a very, very large circle around a lot of different things, and I think that's a lot of the problem with these topics is that you might just want to talk about one domino in the middle of this gigantic, ornate, issue. But if you don't pick it up perfect, all the other dominoes fall, and then you have your uncle, calling you a communist on Facebook.
Yeah.
So let's try to take things as specifically as possible. Number one, what does it say something about our resolve? Does it say something about our inability to get things done? Does it say something about our callousness as a culture because we see these things and either do or don't do things?
Yeah. Well, it's because nobody knows how to do it. Now, part of the problem is, like you and I can get on the show or on Twitter and we can say a bunch of stuff, but we really don't have any power to do anything about it. I mean, I can do things like be a responsible parent and raise my children in ways that hopefully avoid issues with guns or avoid issues with them misunderstanding how guns work. Or
well, let's just look at that problem and then the sub problems in there. Number one, are we bad for not what is our expectation after seeing bad news? And it's a point I tried to make on the Jury podcast, which turned out to be an absolute disaster because of so many amazing segues that I did. It was just I went from a story about like reporting on 9/11, like literally into an iPhone 6s Plus review.
Oh wow!
Like it was just I mean, if you like watching me twist in the wind, it is pornography. So we are, is the point I was making on Jury. We are inundated now with news.
Yeah.
We just hear more. There was an amazing stat in the 90s, and I can only imagine that it's gotten worse, where you polled people whether or not they thought that we were getting more or less violent.
Yeah.
And in actuality, we were getting far less, and we have been for years and years and years.
Yeah, statistically, we're less violent than we've ever been. But
and yet, we know far more.
Yeah.
And yet we see far more. And yet we know these people. We emotionally know these people, these victims, far more.
Yeah.
And we feel for them. We are an empathetic people, and that is to our credit. Now, with that being said, does that mean that we should do something?
Yeah.
And that's where I tend, this is where I have a very, very weird esoteric point that I don't like to make all that much because I think it comes across in a weird way.
I'm glad we drug it out of you today then. This will be fantastic. Go ahead.
I don't always think that we just need to do something argument is the best.
Interesting. Well,
because it feels like a knee-jerk.
Something always wrong,
yeah.
But I think we need to do something is what got us into the drug war. We got to do something is what has gotten us into a lot of foreign wars that people don't like.
Yeah.
But the alternative is we've got to do nothing.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, like the hopefully we have to do the smart thing.
Right.
We have to do the effective thing.
Yeah.
So in other words, so it's not really we have to do something, it's we have to do something now. Right, is the problem, like the knee-jerk reaction, like the reactive as opposed to thinking about what the best solution is for something like this.
And the worst part about that, the other thing that gets said in these situations is the problem is with parenting and our children, and we're not doing a good job raising our kids, and they want to blame it on that because they got all these people with these problems that had terrible upbringings or whatever. And my answer to that, as someone who endeavors to do just that with his children, okay? And Brian Ibbett with his kid, and everyone we know, all our personal friends trying to raise good kids in a world that's complicated, right?
In a world.
We're doing that, but that's not a thing you can say. The change, that's like saying, man, we'd have this whole thing solved if water just wasn't wet. Because
but yeah, and also it's like people have been raising terrible kids forever.
Right, and there are already a bunch of
ever. There
are 10 years old. There are 10-year-old kids right now who are having a terrible upbringing. You can all just go, okay, ready, everyone. Okay, ready, set, parent perfectly. It doesn't work that way.
No, look around your office. If you are listening to this at your office right now, right? Look around and then tweet me, Justin R. Young, and just say the name of the person that you know is raising a terrible kid. Just say Linda or Mark.
From
right?
accounting,
like just whatever.
Janice
just
accounting.
Give
Janice
me the
accounting.
name of the person that you know right now is raising a terrible kid. Now, they're not all going to be mass shooters. They're not all going to be terrible. But let's say they'll be the person who, pulls into a parking spot you've been waiting for. Just a bad person, right?
Yeah.
Pees on the seat in the urinal.
Sure.
Exactly.
In the bathroom.
That dude.
Yes.
Who's 41, by the way. Like, it's not like he's young. Like,
right. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, when it gets to guns, and again, I don't own a gun.
See how you're tiptoeing around? It's because of this issue.
Just, again, because I'm trying to very delicately to pick up one domino and not knock all the other dominoes down.
Yeah, I agree. It's just what my whole point was. It's that kind of issue that makes you have to pay attention to your
dominoes. This is just
dominoes.
something that I think is worth mentioning.
Yeah.
When we talk about gun laws equal, if you don't do them, you can go to jail. And if you refuse to go to jail, you can get shot and killed.
Yeah.
By police.
Yeah.
That's what a law is.
Yeah.
Right? We feel it's so important that these penalties need to be behind them.
Right.
If you look at who the largest offenders are of these kind of gun laws, and I don't mean this in a negative way. I mean that it would not shock me if we brought in very, very, very hard gun laws that you would see a lot of the same arguments being made about the drug war.
Yeah.
That it is targeted racially. It is targeted to the poorest Americans. And it puts more poor minority Americans in jail.
Yeah.
Because that's where, if you look at gun ownership statistics, the largest per capita ownership of guns is in the poorest states in America. And if you look at the communities they're in, a lot of them are minority communities.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, so we run around and we're on Facebook and we're like, finally, gun laws now. And I'm not saying that it's not out of empathy. I'm not saying that it's not from a good place. I'm saying just do something now very rarely turns out really awesome 10 years on. The Patriot Act was we have to do something now. I don't think there's a lot of people right now that look at the Patriot Act and are like, man, that was really rad. I'm really excited with everything that happened from the Patriot.
Solved everything. Right.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a good point. I mean, you look statistically at things like the numbers that really freaked me out were Americans killed by terrorism in the last 10 years, or since 2001 until now. So let's say 14 years. I guess it was up till 2013 is the statistics. Anyway, it was how many Americans had died via terrorism versus died by gun violence. That includes people being shot by police. That includes people shooting each other, and that includes these mass shooters and all this stuff, right? All these things combined. And it was ridiculous. It was 3,200 something terrorism deaths, and that included 9/11, which was 3,000 plus of those. So it's this minuscule number after that not to diminish the lives that were lost, no matter how they're lost, but it's a very small number, and it was like 88,000 or something gun ones. So, and the numbers aren't anywhere near that in any other country. So even if you're right, or and I agree, the statistics bear this out, that these things seem almost worse because not only are we more exposed to them and with real-time news and information and social media and everything else, but they're also more poignant at when they happen because it does literally happen less than it ever used to. But still, we look like jackasses. And I don't mean that's the problem that we look like jackasses, but we just look like we're screwing up left and right because we have this huge number and no one else in the world has this number.
Yeah, and look at our prison population.
Right. It's kind of out of control.
And so the solution is to make our prison population worse? Our solution is to put more people in jail?
Yeah.
Because that's what we are. When we say gun laws, we are making a tough on crime argument.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We are making a zero tolerance argument.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. That's the whole idea.
And not to say that all the gun laws are zero tolerance, right? Or proposals, and a lot of them are reasonable. And I'm for a fair amount of them, right? Like in a case by case thing. It's just I don't disagree with people who want gun control.
Yeah.
I agree a lot.
Yeah, but on the other side, people who say, you know what your solution is? Give every one of them teachers, principals, and hall monitors a gun. Problem goes away. Slippity, slappity, poopity pa. No way, man. That is a terrible idea. And teachers don't want that, by the way. I have teacher friends who are like, that is ridiculous. Maybe not.
I love that speech. That speech by Arlen Specter. Slippity, sloppity, poopity. Well, but again, and I don't think that's the right solution. I don't think it's like, well, that's why everybody needs a gun. I can open up my can of Coke with a gun. Finally, guns are a very uniquely American problem.
Yeah.
Because we are a very, very large country. And by that, I don't necessarily mean by population. I mean by area. And many places, guns are just a different concept rurally than they are in an urban setting.
Mm-hmm.
Because in an urban setting or a suburban setting, you can call the cops and have an expectation that they might be there within a certain amount of time.
Sure.
In places where that is not the case,
mm-hmm.
which many feel in minority neighborhoods, it is not the case. And many people just by sheer surface area alone, in rural areas, it can't be the case.
Right. But see,
and a gun could save your family's life.
Sure. And I have a friend he'll support that notion, and he has, I think, 3 shotguns and 2 rifles and all this stuff locked in this safe at his house that he can get to quickly. He's got one attached to the underside of his bed that he can unlatch.
Wow.
Yeah, he's super into it.
Like a 1920s noir detective.
Big time.
With it taped to the underside of his desk.
Big time. He lives in a neighborhood that is virtually, I don't think there's ever been a crime there.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a very affluent neighborhood.
That means it's due.
It's probably means it's due. See, and I guess that's kind of I want to make a distinction here, because when we talk about minority situations, which let's let middle class white man Scott Johnson talk about this for a second. But if that's what my understanding is, statistically, what's happening there is it's a lot of shooting each other. If you look at the stats of who's shooting who with those guns in those environments, it's a lot of person-on-person stuff. Mm-hmm. When it comes to that lone weirdo white guy psychopath that shows up in a theater in Denver, or what was the city?
It was Aurora, right?
Aurora, right?
Yeah, the movie theater. Yeah,
that guy. It's always some crazy white guy with crazy ideas. Either it's racially motivated, or it's some other thing, or whatever. That's a different gun problem than the other gun problem intrinsically. Those other guys aren't necessarily insane or think they have some kind of life's calling to shoot everybody and then off himself. They're protecting what's theirs. In a lot of cases, they're just trying to survive. Like, it feels more real to me what they're doing with guns versus the one psychopath who kills 10 people because he's crazy. So the two approaches are totally different, or they should be.
I mean, Are they?
Well, I don't know.
Now we're getting into very weird territory.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like the mental illness side of it is a big deal, and I'm not saying there's an easy solution, but that's a huge part of the problem. And these are the ones that get all the news. Like there's no news about the 8 shootings that happened in LA's West Side yesterday. No one's talking about those, but they're talking about this white crazy person that showed up and asked everybody what their religion was and then opened fire on them. Well, why are they doing that? Well, because there is this weird, not mystery, and I don't mean entertainment value, but there's something where we all go, why would a guy do that? What is up with that? Yeah. Now, you understand why a drug deal went bad and somebody shot the guy who is about to cross him and didn't bring all the money or something. Yeah. That makes sense to us. What doesn't make sense is this guy who's like, it is my holy duty to take my 12 guns and destroy everyone. That doesn't make sense. So we want to know, we want to understand that. We want to dig into it. We want CNN to talk about it for 24 hours. I don't know where I'm going with this, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, but I think all that does is underscore how difficult of a problem it is.
Yeah, I guess so. It is complex.
How, to me, as much as we want to, post John Oliver macros and Jim Jeffries stand-up routines and, slam our fist and get angry about it, I don't know that we're really solving anything. And one day I'm scared that we are going to be so emotional about this issue that we're going to do something that we regret for the next 10 years that's going to, like the drug war, do tremendous damage to the poorest and most in need of sympathy in our society.
So maybe here's what I think, and I really do actually believe this, as much as these news things bug me and all this stuff. I think that what we are doing is an outward expression of the change in a positive direction. It takes a long time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's like racial tension. It's like anything else. But over time, people become more and more incensed and more polarized because it's not as easy just to blend into the crowd anymore. And I actually see that as a good thing. It's like the world shrinks. It becomes less of a, let's go to the mystery of the Orient and see what happens there. No, it's just hop on a plane and be there in 7 hours and hang out in Japan and come back. You know what I mean? Like it's shrinking. The world is shrinking, and there's not so much you can hide. You can't. The mystery starts to leave because everybody hears about something on Twitter immediately, and you just know about it now. Instead of 2 weeks ago, it turns out somebody opened fire and that's a terrible shame. It's just different now. And I think that's all positive momentum. People see it. They may perceive it and go, oh my gosh, everything's going to crap. When's the apocalypse? But I see it and go, no, you guys are just informed now. And
yes.
And we still freak out because we have this basic nature of like fight or flight and all that.
If Twitter existed in like 1901, like society would have collapsed.
Yeah, can you even imagine?
Everyone just would have went back to bed and never woke.
It's all very slow burn, is what I'm saying. Change like this, and it has to be.
It's getting a better understanding, and it is sifting through. Okay, well, what's an outlier? Like, let's say that in a country that has had the penetration that guns have had in the United States for as many years as it's been, with as many guns in circulation that there are, that there will always be people who break the laws. Many of these mass shooters have, by the way, or the federal checks were admitted later to be faulty. That these crimes will still happen.
Yeah.
Like, how do we know?
Yeah, we don't know.
Will people who want to commit such heinous acts always break the law?
Well, that's the problem. Is the measuring sticks suck for all this. Like, none of it's easy to just quantify and go, oh, well, he did it because of A, B, and C, so let's just fix A, B, and C.
Just take those variables out.
Yeah, there's nothing easy about any of this. Like, all of this is hard.
Listen, I do not know the numbers well enough, and I'm more than willing, and anybody who disagrees with anything that I say, which I'm sure is quite a bit, you know, you can very much say Justin is ill-informed on the numbers, and that's why everything he said is stupid, which is fine.
Well,
because it's true.
But part of the problem is this, dude. Let me speak to that real quick, because you just brought a thought into my head. Part of the problem is us, and I don't mean us three necessarily, but we're part of the human condition as well. It's people's reactions to things like you said a bunch of things on today's episode. Some people will hear in what you say one thing, and another group of people will hear something very different. And because they're both hearing what they want to hear or what they're conditioned to hear or whatever their confirmation bias is, that's more of a problem to me, because what it does is it shuts out the ability for us to have this open conversation where you can say things like, maybe more laws aren't the answer. That doesn't mean you're pro guns. It doesn't mean you're pro shoot people. It doesn't mean you're pro they're not going to take my guns and you're going to hide them in the basement. That doesn't mean that's what Justin's saying. It means something more nuanced. And when people are unable to continue to have a nuanced discussion outside of their own biases, that's where we suck. That's where
you want
we
to know
blow.
what? Like, and in support of that, that's why I just want to let everybody know it's okay to disagree and to think I'm an idiot. You're not the first, nor will you be the last. And I still love you. Yeah. And I would love to continue this conversation. And that's really all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that, like, I want to admit where I'm faulty, where I'm deficient. But I will say this. When it comes to everybody saying, look at the numbers, do the numbers, look at the numbers, do the numbers. There are a lot of numbers out there. And there are a lot of difficult and interesting permutations to those numbers. Like, I do know that in countries that aren't the United States, shootings tend to have that there are less of them, but they go on longer.
Yeah.
And part of that is the more people have guns here.
Right.
Police have guns and they know how to use them a little bit better. There are citizens that have guns and they know how to use them. I mean, like, there's a lot of very, very, very difficult, interesting, and also, listen, it takes different strokes to move the world. A solution in another country might not be a solution here.
Yeah. Or the other way around, which we've learned.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
and I've got a son who's 15 now, but when he was 12, he was at a scout camp where one of the awesome fun things you get to do is learn how to use a .22 and shoot targets, and then you track who got the best, and someone wins a turkey because somebody hit the bullseye. And there's a culture of, and people want to automatically go, well, that's an evil culture. But there's a culture of, no, these are also things, to use to hunt. Well, people who hate hunting are going to have a problem with that. But then people who love hunting are going to say, no, that's an innocent thing. You can train somebody to be real smart with guns, and they're used for sport or whatever. And, it's all up in the face from the time they're young till the time they're old. That's not even necessarily not true in Europe. I have European friends who grew up fox hunting, very young age. And, I guess my point is, I'm not.
Well, that's screwed up. And nobody should do that. That's wrong. And that's, it's about time that we let them know that that's gross and weird. And I have no tolerance for it.
And that's my point, is that I can say those things and someone will feel that way. I can say those things and someone will be, yeah, we want to keep hunting our foxes or whatever. Fine. All of that stuff is valid.
They'll get so excited that their powdered wigs will fall off,
Yeah, I don't know. I guess all I've come down to is it's a complex issue that everyone feels a little bit powerless to do much about. But
so I mean, but here's and Brian makes a really good point, because very often when you say this kind of stuff, immediately people are like, "So what? Nothing? Just put a thumb up your butt and whistle Dixie? Like, is that it? Is that what you're asking?" And I'm like, "No, that's a very specific thing that you just made up. Like, that's not at all like a default."
Yeah.
I would say this is something that, if it matters to you, and it matters to you more than just, getting upset about it, it matters to you on day 3, 4, and 5 after it, and not just days 1, 2, and 3, then do more than just retweeting the Jim Jeffries routine.
Right.
Do more than just retweeting, a Washington Post article about Obama's speech and saying, like, finally, if it really matters to you, and this is something that I always say, and we're going to get back into this, and I'm sure I'm going to talk about it a lot on the Politics podcast, but it's that time every 4 years where I remind everybody it's totally rad not to vote. And it's totally rad to not have an opinion on day 2 of a tragedy.
Yeah.
Want to know what matters? Not election season, not the day after a tragedy.
Yeah.
Every other day in between.
Yeah.
If you really care about something, if you really care about a cause, if you really care about an issue, then this is when you do your research. This is when you find your allies. This is when you put in work with them on whatever side that is, because it's cheap and cloying during these times. And that's when it's like, people are like, oh, well, if you care about insert cause, that's why you need to vote. No, if you don't agree with the person that you're voting on or the choices that are given to you, then don't. You don't have to. It's totally cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you really care about those issues, you're going to do way more, way more every day that isn't a primary or general election season.
Yeah. I completely agree.
And so
it's so easy to armchair quarterback this stuff,
Right.
What I'm trying to do here is not do that. And people may say, "Well, Scott, aren't you guys just armchair quarterbacking it?" This conversation is the one what I'm trying to do is say that there is a different way to discuss this crap, and it isn't just going planting your flag and then arguing it.
Right.
We're
We're talking about it the day, the week after something horrible happens.
Yeah, and I hadn't even considered the idea, for example, that regulation of firearms, given that it's firearms specifically, would be a lot like overregulation of drugs, especially things like marijuana and other stuff that or whatever. And there's a lot of there's a lot of granularity in that conversation as well. But you comparing that to the way the drug war worked out, or saying we don't want to end up in that position again, is a part of this perspective I never even considered before. And I don't know why, just never thought about it. Why can't
and that's it is an argument that I make only for this is like for entertainment purposes only, because we don't know what a legislation would be. We don't know how specific it would be. It would never be as strict as a drug war, because you had bipartisan support for, nobody wanted to be the yay drugs candidate. Now you see a little bit more of that because people can run against the drug war,
Yeah.
Pro-drugs candidates, legalization candidates run against the drug war. They don't run for drugs. Rand Paul is for states being able to legalize drugs, right?
Yeah.
But he says, I don't want fathers to be away from their families for such a trivial thing. That's what he says. He doesn't say, hey, smoke weed every day. That's not what he does. And so it's that's all I'm saying is just think, I don't know. I feel like there should be a waiting period on opinions sometimes.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to look at it.
Think for 3 days.
It's going to have to be self-imposed, though, and that's the hard part. Is people have a really hard time controlling themselves and thinking ahead. And there's something.
But also, actually, now I'm going to backtrack on myself. I feel like, but I love unfettered, crazy freedom of speech.
You like it, but you framed it in a way that's different, though. You're framing that as what that is. It's this unfettered, crazy, out there, whatever, and then things can
All right, how about this? Have a 3-day waiting period on your opinion if you want me to take you seriously.
There you go. I like that.
There you go.
That one's not bad. Or just do this.
Smoke weed every day.
You can do that instead.
That would
So
be
they have to document.
Imagine Rand Paul, and he's like, Senator Paul, your thoughts on drug legalization on a state-by-state basis.
Yeah. Well, there's a solution. It's better than the solutions I've been hearing, is all I'm saying. It's I adhere to your doctrine a little bit more than the stuff I've been hearing people spout about this.
And also, here's the best thing about the United States, in my opinion.
Yeah. Black cheeseburgers. No.
Yet another thing, another awesome thing that we stole from Japan.
Yeah.
You can do stuff state by state. What's rad about the United States is that everything we can try, we give tremendous autonomy to our states.
Right.
And cities. I think you should, if I were somebody who was very, very, very keen on gun control stuff, I would be getting all upon my state senator. I'd be getting all upon the people who are in the state capital for which I lived. And I would be saying, no, let's fix it here. Let's be the model for which the country follows.
Yeah.
Because a one-size-fits-all federal gun law, you know, they're really, really weird. You know, Hillary Clinton was out on television yesterday talking about closing the gun show loophole by a federal mandate.
What, saying
no? There's already a federal law against it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but is that where
there's a loophole from there? So it's like, you know, federal gun laws are very weird and they're very, very hard to enforce.
Yeah.
State by state, it's a different story. City by city, it's a different story. But even then, you know, you look at Chicago. Chicago's got the strictest gun laws in the country, and they have a lot of gun violence.
Yeah.
So, you know, my point to say is not that Chicago shouldn't have those, or that they're bad. It's just that, man, this stuff's hard, and I think that like maybe there are elements there that could be done better, and maybe they could be done better in St. Louis. Maybe they could be done better. Although St. Louis is a bad example considering recent events, but maybe they can be done better in Minneapolis. Maybe they can be done better in Houston. Those like let's work on it.
Look at you, all states and city rights. I like that, man.
I mean, like that just seems to be the way that we solve a lot of problems in this country.
Right.
Like solve it at your back door and let everybody else say, "Oh wow, look at that! A lot
It's
less
working there. Let's try it here."
Yeah. Well, all right. Look, we've solved it, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. We fixed
If we've
it.
done nothing else today, we've solved this one minor issue.
And we've heard Jury sneeze, which really is all I was trying to get to.
Yep.
Thank goodness for that.
Ain't a fan, baby.
Jury, speaking of all these sorts of things, you often talk more about them on other shows, but anything coming up you want people to know about?
Yeah, actually, all this states' rights is really the second best thing about the United States. The first best thing is The Contender, the game of presidential debate, available now. So a lot of people supported this very show.
Yeah.
Or supported this Kickstarter when we did it from this show.
Yeah.
We launched at Nerdtacular for a reason,
Yeah.
because we wanted to capitalize on everybody's passion there, and you know, we funded within I think 10 hours of launching it, thanks to Nerdtacular. But if you would like to get the warts and all, every decimal point accounted for, path of how we raised $142,000, every move we make, every lesson that we learned from previous Kickstarters, lessons that we wish we had applied afterward, what we tried and failed to do, what we tried and succeeded to do, it will all be in the Contender mailing list. We're going to send that out this week. John's working on it right now. So go ahead on over thecontender.us and sign up for our mailing list. It's going to be super rad. If you're interested in Kickstarters or even just how something like this comes together, including the beginning of our printing process, which is happening here in the United States, right in Dallas, Texas, which is going to thin into our margins, but we'll get it to everybody by Christmas, which is something that was very important to us.
Right.
Then this is where you're going to want. You know, I think a lot of people really dig these big warts and all teardowns, but you're only going to get it on the mailing list. Check it out, and then pre-order the game if you haven't.
Yeah, get on that.
People who did the Kickstarter, they automatically in the newsletter
They
deal? Or?
should, but you know, sign up again.
Yeah, I'll sign up anyway.
They should, but sign up.
But it should. I mean, as long as you gave. The only thing I don't know is I don't know if people who log in through Kickstarter through like Facebook or something, whether or not we get their email. So I would say just sign up again if you definitely want to get it. But I know all the email addresses that we have in the Kickstarter will go into the big MailChimp.
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 Sorry, I don't remember how they did that on Serial enough to recreate it right here live.
Yeah.
It was close. Well, all right. Do check that out.
I'm just really glad that Serial brought podcasting back.
I did. I know. If it wasn't back.
Oh, snap.
What
A
the
more
hell?
controversial topic.
laying down the dirt. Laying down the dirt. Don't forget the latest spoiler cast. We put it up. Spoiler show. Put it up yesterday. It is available at frogpants.com/spoiler. And
By the way, I expect I'll probably get more crap for my opinion on The Martian than I did about my opinion on Guts.
Probably. He said some stuff, man. There's some real dirt thrown down tomorrow or yesterday, so go check that out. Justin Robert Young, have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time.
You got it.
Bye now. All right. Some intense stuff today, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm going to pound through an email and a call real quick. I got an email from Paul Siopic.
All
right.
That's how I would say it.
Says, loved your response to your son's question about how Kim Kardashian became famous. Know what's worse than a 15-year-old son asking that question? Last night, my twin 12-year-old girls asked the exact same thing. Unlike you, I went down the O.J. Simpson rabbit hole explaining he was a famous football player charged with murder, and Kim's father was his lawyer, and that father died, and then the stepdad was Bruce Jenner, who turned to Caitlyn Jenner. They both listened to my lengthy explanation, and then Jessica said, quote, well, Jill, her friend, and she's famous because her boyfriend put a naked video of her up of her. If that happened to me, I wouldn't try to be famous. I'd move to a cave and never come out, unquote. So now he thinks he maybe should have gone the original story route.
Yeah, right. Oh, great daughter, though, girls you've raised.
Yeah.
Like, having that kind of reaction, like, oh, that seems like the most horrible thing ever.
Yeah.
Not for me.
There's always a look on, well, I don't want to get into that. You know, good luck to President Kanye West. I hope everything goes well.
Right, yeah.
One of these is a phone call. It came from a listener, and it goes like this.
Hi, this is John from Seattle. You mentioned the Hateful Eight a few episodes back. Got me interested, looked into it, and I see a lot of similarities between the Hateful Eight and The Thing from 1982. One, it's shot in a cold place. In Hateful Eight, it's a blizzard. In Antarctica, in The Thing. Number two, one of these people is not what they appear, is what Kurt Russell says. And three, it's Kurt Russell starring again, just like he did in The Thing. Think about it. Conspiracy?
Whoa.
I don't know. That's all. Bye.
All right.
I can't wait for the scene where Samuel L. Jackson gets out a petri dish and starts poking at
yeah, or
Jennifer Jason Leigh's guts sitting in there.
Yeah, or her head walking around with like spider legs and stuff. Or the dog going, oh, that's a different movie. That was
You guys should all go see The Hateful Eight and multiple times. As a matter of fact, this month go see Crimson Peak and the Scout's Guide to Zombies, or whatever it's called. Go see both of those things a lot.
Yeah, those are going to be fine films. And Brian doesn't even own them. He does own them, but pretend he doesn't. Pretend this isn't like...
Pretend I don't own them.
Yeah, pretend it's all fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it. We're done. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right.
Thank you all for being here. Frogpants.com/TMS. Email us, themorningstream@gmail.com. That phone call came to us at 801-471-0462. Feel free to leave voicemails there. On Twitter, at Morningstream, at Scott Johnson, at Coverville, and on the web, you can go to our subreddit, frogpants.reddit.com.
Cool. And I mentioned go see Pan and Bridge of Spies as well. Go see those as well.
For no reason other than they look good.
Lots of things to go see, apparently.
Sure, I'm sure they're going to be fine. Brian, do you have music for us?
I do.
Oh,
How about something going out to our very own homie, Iceworm? Says, hello, Solid and Big Boss. My favorite game series ever is the Metal Gear Solid series. Could you please play the cover version of The Man Who Sold the World by Midge Ure? The song was used to great effect in the opening to The Phantom Pain. If that is not doable, you can always play Supple Crusty Smoky Meat Cheddar Homestead.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, that is a good thing.
The tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch.
All right.
Also not served with a black bun. Take care, homies. Sign Mike. Iceworm.
The Homestead bit was pretty good, Mike. Nice job.
That is right. That's very good.
Yeah.
Midge Ure, former lead singer for the band Ultravox in the 80s. Great singer. And he was instrumental in that whole, the original version of Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
It was him and who else? Was it Bob Geldof? I think he was involved in that. Anyway, he's big into those philanthropic endeavors. Great Great singer, too, Midge Ure. On the Greatest Hits album, he includes this cover of David Bowie's The Man Who Sold the World. Whoop, just put that plate anywhere, Phil.
It's a freaking lid to the pickles, sorry.
Okay.
Crap.
The album was If I Was, the very best of Midge Ure and Ultravox. Came out in 1993. If you have no Ultravox in your life, start there. Go pick up If I Was, the very best of Midge Ure and Ultravox. Such a great collection of music. Includes this cover of David Bowie's The Man Who Sold the World. Let's listen to it right now.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Recommendals, Tom's Tech Time, and more. See you then.